Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkie Podcast. Guys, we got 3 weeks left of hunting season.
I feel like it's been 4 weeks since we've been in here.
Man, it has been. We didn't. Our last one was before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was right before Christmas.
Did y'all have a Merry Christmas?
We had a Christmas.
Happy New Year. Had a Christmas.
It was busy.
I don't know. Everybody talks this year, and I felt the same way. It's like off. You know, it was something. The vibe was different. Or the mood was different than ordinarily at Christmas. But
we needed a few ho-ho-hos or something to get it going.
Santa Claus didn't bring me no bucks. I know that.
No.
so
we've been buck poor here, man.
No, it's not. It's there. You look at TikTok. You look at Facebook. I'm on several pages. Everybody's like, my cameras are blank. He said there's nothing, and the acorns are about washed, gone and ate up. But I don't know where. Nobody's seen anything.
There's a lot of people struggling this year. It ain't just us. I mean, a lot of the guys I talk to have hunted with in the past, and just seeing what they're seeing and talking to them, they're having trouble too. It's just an off year for some reason.
What do you think, the drought?
I was say we don't really know long term what a drought really does to 6 months later.
That's like Darren over Hardin Point. Their Arkansas rules. Their season's over. He said they're seeing deer just dropped horns already.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's part of the drought. They got plenty of feed to eat over there, so I don't know if it's part of the drought that affects that or.
Cause they do protein program over there, can't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's going on. The deer's going on all the protein.
Well, maybe
we can't get on protein here.
Maybe we need to look into Which I heard over the Christmas break that they done found a deer in Tunica with CWD, and then another one supposedly in DeSoto County.
Really?
I'm not going to say it too loud because I don't want the word getting out, but supposedly.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet. I mean, seemed like I did hear one in Tunica, but didn't they put the kibosh on that or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
They kept it on the low or something.
I think they said it was only something to do with a 10-mile radius of where it was found or something like that. So
I'll tell you the coolest thing I saw was that picture of that dude. He was from Tate County, but he killed that little dwarf deer. And I think they said he killed it. They said he killed it down around Jackson or somewhere. I don't really know where it came from.
That's going around everywhere. I've seen on TikTok, Facebook.
If you see, it's like a dwarf.
Yeah, it looked like a monster buck. I mean, it still had a nice rack on it.
I just shot it.
But
it looked like he's holding a swamp rabbit.
It looked like it weighs 70 pounds.
I just saw it, man. That's a good eating one right there. Look at that rack on him.
He must have looking at that.
He got into some Miracle Grow
yards and that big old rack sticking up, and you looking through the scope, not being able to judge how big it is.
Yeah, by itself, and you shoot him. It's about the size of a lamb.
It's 42 yards, and you shot it at 280.
Yeah, that didn't pan out right.
That's the first time I ever seen anything like that.
I hadn't seen a dwarf deer. I mean,
I've never even heard of it.
Guy walking up on it, like what the hell?
That was ground shrinkage all the way around.
He probably got nervous. Like, I don't know if I need to tell anybody about this. Did I really shoot a whitetail?
Would you hate it?
Man, I don't know.
You put that thing whole on a spit, little bit
you
of
could
thing.
roast it.
Throw it in a Weber kettle.
It comes crock pot ready.
What if you wrapped his horns up and full? He cooked him whole like it and had him laid out. He says, "We're eating buck deer tonight, y'all. Just picking at the deer.
That might
like a whole hog." But
I don't know if that'd look real appetizing. I don't know how that would go.
You think the horns would look like bones, like when we wrap up the big tomahawk steak
get them
bones?
good and white and pretty.
Get them white.
Don't get no butter on them; they'll burn.
Heck no, you don't want to burn them up.
No, that was a.
Then you could hang them up after that. It'd be a souvenir you take home after you ate.
We had a bunch of people though that we're friends with and follow that got deer over the holidays, and a couple of our buddies got their sons got their first deer.
Your buddy Jody's son, how old was he?
I think he's 7. Don't get mad at me, John Lawson, if I got that wrong. But
y'all rigged him up a legend, didn't you?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, we talk a lot about it. Talk a lot about 350 legend, how it's just it's not a 300 mag. Get it out of your head. It's a small gun. It's
short distance,
200 yards and in. But I mean, John Lawson, I think he's 7 years old, and he's a small frame, boy. He's a little kid, and he got out there, and you can tell he was a little nervous. And first time he shot, and he hit about 8 or 10 inches to the left. And Jody's like, all right, let's shoot again. And we got him down there, and I said, just take your time, look at the bullseye. I said, you see the bullseye? He said, yes, sir. And he shot that next time, and drilled it. I
was over there. That was you couldn't
inch and a half high, dead on left and right. Smoked it. And I was like, all right, and he done good, and he got tickled. I wish I could have him on here and let him tell you the story about shooting a deer. Yeah. Boy, to have you rolling. So they went down to I guess it was their buddies or their farm over in Alabama, and he said they got the spot and a little 6 point come out, and turned broadside. And he said, "You on him?" And Jody said it took him a good while to get on him because he wouldn't be nervous. And he said, "All right, go ahead and pull the trigger." And he's like, when I told him to pull the trigger, it was go time then, So he finally got on him, shot, and Jody said the deer, ran and tailed down, and he said, "Daddy, I didn't miss. I was on him." He said, "I smoked him."
I smoked him.
And
he knew he smoked him.
Yeah, which it was late in the evening. It was right at dark, and I think it was mist and rain. So one of the worst case scenarios trying to find blood. He's like, "Let's just wait, come back in the morning where we got good daylight." And I think the deer ran 75, 80 yards. And he hit him a little far back, but he told him, he told his daddy, he said, "I don't know." He said, "I had it right on the shoulder. That bullet must have curved." He said, "That bullet curved." And,
I think all of us shot them curved.
Them curving bullets are hell, man.
That's the same excuse I got when I miss one.
But I tell you, it wasn't a perfect shot placement. He did hit him a little far back, but the 350 put a smackdown on him. I mean, if it would have been daylight, morning time hunt, it'd have been no trouble to find the deer. But with it raining and stuff like that, I mean, they made the right call. Let's step out. We marked where they shot him and come back again. He was laying right there next morning.
Did he get upset having to go home? And
no, he said he didn't. He said, he was like, I think he was more upset that kind of just like we would be is like, hey, did I cripple a deer?
Yeah.
And I think that went through his mind. But he said, we'll just go back in the morning. He said, okay. And they walked up on it, and he said he slapped his daddy. He said, "I told you I didn't miss." He was fired up, but it's pretty cool to, I wasn't there to be a part of it, but just kind of see him transition. It's the first time he ever shot at a deer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I missed a bunch before I got one in the freezer.
Yeah.
I started with the spikes.
Now, granted, I was
excited about shooting when
I shot everybody else's gun but mine. I didn't kill my first deer with my gun. It was Mikey's 35 Remington, so it's pretty neat to see that and, get somebody involved at that young age and be successful,
I got a daughter, and she's 16, don't give a heck about hunting now, really, but it's weird carrying a kid because you don't know, or anybody that hadn't hunted, you don't know if they seeing what, if they got the crosshairs on it, if they lined up on it, but now you got all the advancements and cameras and scopes. You can pretty much see exactly what they're seeing now. But
well, too, that's what I asked him. He said, "I didn't know why I felt that way." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, I got to shaking. And he said, I thought I was sick, He thought something bad wrong. He never felt that adrenaline like that,
He'll be chasing it the rest of his life. Watch.
I'll tell you what, when you're sitting in a stand with a kid doing that, I mean, I kind of know where Jody was at there, just with my boys and, taking other kids hunting and stuff like that I'm more nervous for them than I am for myself shooting at a deer than I was at their age. Just like Mark and Jamie was saying, you don't know if what's fixing to happen, and you're so nervous. You want them to
you don't want them to mess up. You
don't want them to mess up, but you can't do it for them. So
y'all get like that. You get that fever for them.
Yeah.
I'm over there quivering and shaking and about to throw up, and they're.
See, Abby's had several deer, pretty decent deer up close, and she's never ever get I mean, it didn't bother her at all. Now I'm over there shaking, and now that one big deer she missed down here, she got a little shook up on it, but as far as that, she don't. It ain't. See,
I don't get used to when I was a kid. It didn't matter if I was going to shoot the deer or not. If a deer come out, I was shaking. Like I was fired up. And now it's like, I'm cool. I can sit there and watch them in the field. I don't even get shook up. But if I say in my mind, all right, I'm finna shoot that doe, I get just shook up. I'm like,
mine still does.
When I put my cheek on that gun and look through the crosshairs, I'm like, crap, here it comes,
I think I would probably quit hunting if I didn't get that. You know what I mean? Because even if it's with the doe, you get that little bit of excitement or what it is. I mean,
it's a lot going through your mind. And you don't realize it until you get done with everything. It's like, all right, you're trying to focus on the deer. You're trying to focus on if it's other deer in the food plot, it's a lot going on and it's a lot to take in,
the only times I probably haven't got like that is when it happened fast.
Yeah.
Like I had that.
But then it happens after.
Then after you shoot,
then it comes on. It does. It comes on right after. It's like, oh man, it kicks in.
It didn't. I
just shot a buck. I think he's down. And it happened to me last year because I had one come out so fast, and you just pick up, shoot, and then it kicks in. Yeah, here it comes.
You start trying to talk to somebody on the phone, and you chatter.
I got to sit there a little bit before I can get down. I'm fall getting down. I'm so excited.
I'll tell y'all, like Will, when he first started hunting, he missed his first deer. It was a doe, and it was right there by the house, but he shot and missed his first deer. And I was like that when he was getting ready to shoot, I could feel the stand shaking, it was just, and I might have thrown him off some shaking. He was pretty nervous too. You know, I could see the old barrel moving and stuff.
Yeah.
He got that kind of out of his system, and then we went back about 2 or 3 days later, and he, you know, when he smoked one, but when that deer come down through there, I was shaking so bad, man. And when he fired that shot and that joker went down, son, I like tore that stand to pieces.
To get down?
Hell no. I jumped up, went to jumping up and down in the stand. He told his mama, he's like, I had to hold on. Daddy like shook me out of the stand. I was grabbing him and, you know, I was just
pumped up.
I didn't know if I want to throw up, cry, or do what. You know, it was just wow. What a
See,
feeling.
the unknown gets me pumped up now. If you're sitting in a stand, you know it's a buck chasing doe, or you see it, but you can't tell how big it is. That's what, man, I'll get shook up then. But if I'm sitting there, I see one just come out, kind of like Mark said, I really don't get that emotional or shook up about it right then.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, oh, I think I'm finna shoot it, then it kicks in, or then after the shot definitely does. But
when we was down here, we shot them does that evening. I was cool. Like, I was just sitting there watching them. I was like, all right, that's a big doe. I'm gonna shoot her. When, like you say, when I put the crosshairs on her, I was like,
yeah, take a breath.
Time, breathe a little bit. But I don't know. I'm like you. Like, if I lose that feeling, you know, I'm done with it. You know, it's one of them things. I'd rather, you know, I like everything else about the whole hunting camp and aspect of that. But once you lose that feeling of getting that excitement, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I continue to hunt. It's just like us in cooking.
Yeah.
If I lose that excitement cooking, I'm not going to cook no more. I mean, it's, you know, that's part of it. You know, you get that adrenaline rush. It's a high. I mean, it's exactly what it is.
I get the same way. Rabbit hunting, I hear the dogs coming. I know the rabbit's coming at me. I can feel it, like your heart rate. I mean, I don't get shaking like that, but I can feel my heart rate getting up.
Sitting on a duck hole when it's pitch black dark and you hear them wings whistle over the top.
That's me too. Up. Like when you hear them ducks coming.
When you
can hear that gets you. I could see where the dog would.
Oh yeah, when you know it's, or you in your mind, you know it's coming to you. I can feel, like, say, your heart rate pick up, and kind of, I don't get it. It's a different feeling than a deer, but you do get shook up.
I know you've been dog hunting before, and the times I've been dog hunting, when that pack of dogs is running that deer towards you,
yep.
You talk about the hair standing up and you getting ready and you don't know what's coming.
But what are you doing though? That's something that's crazy. You're talking about rabbit hunting and that same thing. You're hunting harder.
Yeah,
it's like you peel your eyes and you're looking.
You're looking, man. You're looking.
You're squinting trying to find that deer.
You know? Man, I've never had a big buck in front of dogs like it. It's usually some pipsqueak, buttonhead or yearling or something. It usually ain't even old doe.
I've had I've killed some good deer running dogs years ago.
It's a feeling, man. It's a feeling.
It is.
You want some high adrenaline, go turkey hunting.
See, I was going to bring that up.
20 or 30 yards from you gobbling his head off, and you can't see him or can't shoot him, or you can just see him out of the corner of your eye or something, and you know you got to sit still and let that joker move around.
That's got to be one of those guys say they like turkey hunt better than deer hunt. It's that
so what's the difference? So what's the difference? All right, Mikey's fired about turkey hunting. I mean, I'll enjoy turkey hunting, but I hadn't been in 10, 15 years. Yeah. So why does that animal fire him up more? To me, a duck fires me up more. I think
on turkey is you're proving a point. You're outsmarting that bird to a certain extent.
To an extent.
But he's so more keen than a deer too, though. Like, you can get away with a little movement with a deer. You ain't getting away with much with a turkey.
Well, you ain't going to be in a box stand with the heater on waiting on them. You know, you got to get on your feet, move.
You're on the ground, you're eye level.
You're playing chess is what you're doing. So that's all.
Buck probably would if you could get close to him like that. Now, smart, you know.
Yeah. If you was on the ground with a big buck like that, imagine that feeling. You know what I mean? But most time we're in stands of elevating stuff. But
I've always wondered that. Like,
it'd be different.
I mean, I know people that's that fired up about squirrel hunting. You know, or quail hunting. I mean, Daddy's that way with any kind of bird. Daddy's fired up about some quail hunting, or when he used to quail hunt. But like, what is the difference? Like, why does certain animals get people fired up? And
I don't know.
I mean, I enjoy squirrel hunting, but I ain't never had no knee-knocking adrenaline rush squirrel hunting, you know?
So I don't think you would squirrel.
I don't know. We kind of did last year, Malcolm.
But it wasn't like a rush. No. That was just fun.
I think that's more the fun, social, you know.
And them guys over there, no, sir. They're diehard.
That's when
their little dog gets out there and chases that squirrel, they get more pumped up over it than a 200. And them guys that got farms that's got 200-inch deer on it, 160-inch deer all day long, and they'd rather get that feist dog and run a squirrel.
Yeah, they say they don't care nothing about the deer.
And they got the deer.
They're like fishing.
I don't think
like
that's
people that crappie fish.
Do you think they get pumped up though? Because it can't be adrenaline rush from squirrel.
You know,
I mean, I don't know.
Yes and no. It's just like
It'd be one if they was running around with antlers on their head. We might be, you know. But I don't know.
It's just like, I mean, like Sadie, she gives you a good feeling, good vibe, whatever you want to call it. When she does what she's supposed to do and go gets that duck.
She works.
The same thing. Them guys,
when their dogs do
their dog.
You see the payoff of training your dog and working with your dog.
Yeah. So I guess coon hunters do it when they go. Tree coon. Huh?
Yep.
Jamie going his coyote hunting here in a couple of months. He can come back and be fired up about coyotes.
That's two guys I've been talking to, and I'm finna nail it down. We're gonna get a date set.
I got the call now, and I got my coyote thermal scope come in. We're gonna put it to the test on a 350 and see what it'll do.
Did you see that guy's TikTok talking about the thermal scope, the reason he needs it?
What was it?
Protecting his family, and he's like, "We got these things out there, be making a lot of noise at night. They always hang around that feeder, you know." And he's like, "We got to protect my family, you know."
Protect my family.
I need to read. He's in North Mississippi. I think he's around Grenada somewhere.
Who is it?
I can't remember what his name is. Darn.
It ain't no duck hunting dude with long hair.
No.
That dude's in Mississippi somewhere
You talking
too.
about Little Riddle?
Yeah.
He tickled me.
He tickles me on there.
Hey, makes me want to go to Grenada to go to that outdoor store down there.
Yeah.
Looks pretty big.
I just want to meet him, see if he really talks like that.
He's something else.
All that guy's got it going on.
But I don't know. It's more to hunting. We've said this multiple times. Than just going out there shooting something. I don't know why you get that old knee knock feeling, but
and a lot of it, you know, like a lot of it's the chase too. I mean, the adrenaline rush you get is just the chase itself. You know, like squirrel hunting or whatever. When them dogs strike and you're busting down the road on the 4-wheeler trying to get to them, you know, and same way with coon hunting and stuff like that. It's that part of it gives you an adrenaline rush just doing that. You know, maybe not so much the end result, you know, going up there and popping it, but actually going through that chase, you know, like coyote hunting Jamie's talking about. You know, you imagine watching those dogs or blowing across a field, letting those dogs run, and you know you blowing down through there in a side by side.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
The guys you're talking about going with, is it the greyhound guys?
Yeah. Well, it's I don't guess they're all full blooded greyhounds. Some of them are a greyhound, something another mix.
Like whip it or something like that.
Man, I forgot what they call it, but them dudes are. I swear, I spent. It was one night at the house. Me and Larry got to watching YouTube videos on it, and he couldn't believe the fact that a coyote's way out in head, and them dogs will flat run them down and catch them.
I don't believe they can catch them around here.
There was one.
It's got to be them open fields, right?
Yeah, you got to have some running.
If you can run one out across a big bean field or cornfield or something, they could probably run them down. But
we could have this morning.
I think coyotes built a little more for maneuvering through the trees and thickets and stuff than a Great Dane or, you know, whatever they are.
There was one, right there in the bottom when it come out of Senatobia. He was running across the field this morning. You had to see him because you wasn't far behind me.
I don't know.
He busted across the highway and was going south toward, I guess, where that little gravel road is. It cuts through. He was in wide open middle of that bean field.
So do those dogs bay them up, or do they jump on them, or what's the deal?
Depending on where you're hunting. I mean, depending on what type of hunting and where you're hunting at. Like them guys, you're pretty much riding farmland and seeing a coyote, and it's more than one vehicle out there doing it. One guy's out there doing it. When they see the coyote, they're talking back and forth on radios or whatever, and whoever's closest, they'll put their dogs on it, and sometimes the dog catches it, and sometimes they have to throw another pack out behind it.
Yeah, but they're basically just running it down, wearing it out, and then they got to shoot it. Or
no, them dogs run up there and catch it and kill it. The greyhound, they'll destroy it. I mean, them dogs will flat out just tear a coyote up.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they're
all right. This would be my ultimate adrenaline rush. How pumped up you get for a big deer to walk out in the food plot or whatever. If you was on the side of a mountain and that elk bugled, that's got to make your hair stand up. Like there's got to be something about that.
I'm gonna do that one of these days.
One day.
I might do the mix between deer hunting and turkey hunting right there. That thing screaming and bugling right there, and you can't see him, or maybe just see the tips of his horns. Knowing he's gonna walk up on you
and look
I've seen him walk up on them close.
We was in Kentucky. This was a high fence like park. You didn't hunt in there. You're just going in there to see elk.
Yeah.
And they would get from here to your wall over there and just be bugling back and forth to each other. And just, I mean, these are, I guess you call them as a natural park or whatever they have. But even just that sound, it'd give you goosebumps. I couldn't imagine being out in the woods and it being a ridge over and you hear it do all that.
That is the mixture of deer hunting and turkey hunting, though. You're right. Like, because there's something about that sound. And like, I would love to go moose hunting, but I don't think it's like the moose is missing like that. Sounds corny, but like that majestic, like magical animal, like the elk portrays.
Moose almost got like a dangerous element to it. Like you're hunting
they're very
something, you know, like you're hunting.
Well, we rode up on them in Colorado on side by sides. I'm telling you, if you've never seen one on hoof, it ain't no way to explain that animal. I mean, it's.
Oh, we seen a cow.
Like dinosaur-like big.
Yeah.
Like
it was a cow that had a calf, and I don't know. That something looked like she. I mean, I'm sure she wasn't, but it looked like it was 7 or 8 foot tall. I mean, that thing was just monstrous.
Probably was to the shoulder.
And that old man and woman thought they was finna go up there and take pictures.
Yeah, they want.
Like,
yeah, and I'm like, I'd probably leave that one alone.
Leave that one alone, because it wasn't much further from here to you up from us.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with them.
I was like, nope.
That's a big animal.
It is. I ain't never ate moose. I like
I
to.
hadn't either. I know elk is fine.
Them. I mean, I know they do, but I ain't never.
That's got to have a
known
heck of a
anybody that I
backstrap.
know of.
That's
saying they
Charles.
eat some.
If anybody we know has done it, it's Charles.
He probably got one on the dash today
He's
warming
cooking
up.
one on Dash's
He
truck
got me
now.
some Neil guy. Now that's a big animal, but man,
It is. I didn't know they was that big.
you talk about good eating though.
They say, what was it? Me and you was listening to a podcast where if you ain't shooting, it was like a 300 mag or bigger, they wouldn't take you out.
You're not carrying a 350 Legend on that.
No. They said that is, like, if it don't fall when you shoot it, put another one in it. Like, keep on.
Just keep shooting it.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. A lot of them guys were shooting 338s, and I'm talking about big guns, and he said they towed it. That's the toughest animal out there. Very few people, I don't know that many people bow hunt for them.
I think they're, if I remember right, and I might be totally wrong on this, but
They got like an
your
armor
kill
plate.
zone is very tight compared to what it is in a whitetail as far as your organs and how you
And it's like in front of the
That's a
shoulders.
dense meat.
something I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was something like if you like a whitetail, you hit it behind the shoulder. If you don't hit a lot of organs, it's gonna pretty much bleed out. They said these things just freaking suck
They
it
just
up.
tote
You
it.
don't.
They're tough.
But
What's the weight? It's over. That 2,000 pounds are bigger.
I don't
Aren't
know
they?
how big they
they're
get.
probably, I would say, elk
We can
size,
find
I
out.
would think.
I think they're bigger than elk. I think it's. I mean, it's.
How you spell that?
Man, don't get me lying.
M-U-L-E-G-U-M.
It's an N.
Yeah, no, we're playing mule guy.
Mule guy. Mule guy.
M-U-L.
That's a mule guy. That's one of the mule guys. That's what we have in Mississippi.
Oh, I got it right.
Nah, freaking
What does it say? What does it
autocorrect.
say?
Correct.
One of them weighs.
Up to about 700 pounds for a male.
Oh, I
think
figured
look
it's
like-
bigger. No, I don't know if that's the same. That's got to be bigger than that, ain't it?
Oh, it's them things that got the great big body and a little bitty ugly head.
Yeah. That's
I
it.
thought they were around 1,000 pounds.
I thought they were bigger
It
than that.
says male average 250 to 650 pounds.
Oh, well, that ain't that.
Female 220 to 500.
650 pretty big.
Yeah, that's big, but that's elk size. Though.
Yeah.
It's still a big
A
animal.
bull elk's about 800, ain't it?
Yeah, probably so. They probably can get over that, I imagine.
That moose has
Depending
got
on
to be
what kind of elk, where he's at.
That's an ugly animal, though. That
It
thing
sure
looks,
tastes good. I think they come from like India or somewhere.
yeah, I think so. I've had some of the ground. I think he brought me some ground. It's lean. It's leaner than whitetail.
I had pieces of backstrap, and it was dang good.
Was it heated up on a dash?
No, he gave it to me raw, and I cooked it. It was
Oh, you cooked
yeah,
it.
it was steaks.
Safeway.
He might have showed up about 10 o'clock with your supper.
No, it was dang good. Charles hit that, so he goes out to Oklahoma and duck hunts.
Just
out
got
there.
back.
Yeah,
I
just
think
got back,
last
yeah.
week.
And, they've been killing a ton of geese out
Dry
there.
field, too.
He's supposed to bring us some that
He was calling
Canada
me
goose
yesterday
to
and we
make
had
some
all those
summer
meetings and
sauce out
stuff.
of.
I think he was bringing it over then.
We've got to get in doe killing mode. We got 3 weeks. See a buck, he's going down, but we got to kill. We got to make some summer sausage, and we got to make some breakfast sausage at least.
Yep.
I need some jerky meat.
Well, we got our Yankee buddy. He's mid travel right
He's
now.
on his way.
He's on the way.
Next week it's going to be on. We got a cold. It's fixing to
Oh,
get
it's more than cold coming.
We're supposed to get snow Monday, like 1 to 3 inches, and Tuesday it's going to be.
We following the school schedule, ain't it? When they close, we close, right?
I
We
think
hunt.
Monday's it's a Buck Junkie holiday for sure. No,
be
it's
there.
on. I may not. I'm coming down here tomorrow night. And I may not go home next week.
Maybe froze in.
Yeah, it's going. I mean, yes,
If it's 8 degrees, I'm sorry. You call me the wuss you want, but I'm sure enough going to be right. That heater going to be on high.
Oh, yeah.
I might take batteries so the little fan works on them.
Go check the bottles. Make
Yeah.
sure everybody take an extra green bottle.
8 degrees in Mississippi ain't the same 8 degrees it is like up north.
No, it ain't the same. If it's 8 here, it's
It
Well, I
is
freeze.
awful.
I stay cold anyway. And yesterday it showed 38 to 40-ish with that Mach 20
it
wind.
was 18.
It was so daggum cold.
Man, I thought that was we got out last night about 5 o'clock and it said 38 degrees. And I said, if this is 30, I've been sitting outside 38 degrees in the morning and then said, this ain't bad.
No.
with the sun coming up and hitting the stand.
It was a wet 38 too.
Man, it was so
cold.
cold last night. I'm talking about. It took me. I had to go home, turn the daggum gas logs on to get warm.
Oh, I loaded up my fire rack, and my wife said, "We're gonna have enough wood to get through winter." I'm like, "Shit, if it gets cold next week, I'm gonna be out of wood next week."
You better call somebody.
I probably got a half a cord left, and I'm gonna burn it down.
I got a little more than a cord left.
Imagine how much that wood's going to be. They're going to gouge the crap out of the price.
Oh, they already gouge you.
Already.
Yeah, you're still around here.
Wood's outrageous.
I think I paid $200 for a cord delivered. I think
When we first moved in the house that first year, I bought 2 cords at $100 a cord. Is what I paid for it, and
That's a steal right there.
I paid like $500 for a dump truck load, which I would say it might be 2 cords, maybe.
This year.
Yeah, you better check, make sure your propane tank's full before we get to that point.
Yeah,
you call them out then, it ain't no telling what that gas
You
going to
get that cleaning crew I got at the house, your propane tank will be empty because they'll leave it on and walk away. I'd lucky to be alive, man. That day,
Did y'all hear about this?
No.
freaking cleaning
So Mark
lady.
was down here at camp.
New Year's.
It was New Year's. You and your Emily came down, hung out.
Cleaning crew come to the house on Friday at lunch, clean my house. We didn't get home till Saturday night, and they turned my gas cooktop on while they were cleaning the cooktop, and it stayed on till Saturday
Pretty much 24 hours.
with no flame.
no flame on.
Pumped the
Just
whole
pumping
house full of
gas,
propane.
full of
just raw
propane.
gas.
He's lucky it didn't blow. When y'all walked in and flipped the light switch, you lucky it didn't blow up.
The guy I know in our Sunday school class, I guess he's like a fire investigator type deal. I called him. I said, what do I need to do? He said, well, I'm out on a call. He said, I'll come by. He's like, man, he said, we've had it before that wasn't this stout. He said, the static on your feet walking will ignite it. And I walked in, flipped the light switch on before I realized what was going on. And when I finally smelled it, it was so strong, it didn't smell like gas no more. It smelled like sewage. And I was like, man, the house done, like sewage done backed up in the house or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I looked over, no gas cooktop sitting there on high. Just, and I was like, man.
That's so scary, man.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, I had friends that worked at the propane company, and they got blowed out the front door of the house one time trying to get a gas log fireplace.
Well, who was it?
Blowed
Danny
out and
Word?
lit.
Danny Word done it, didn't he?
It blowed them out the windows.
Really?
He done his hunting camp something.
One of them, Hardin Point, did that
Yeah.
several years ago. There was a gas leak or left something on, and it blew half the cabin up.
Man, I've heard of more hunting camps burn up by something like gas or water. Y'all had one, didn't you, Mikey? Or
My brother
yeah.
down. It was. They think it may have been electrical.
it wasn't gas?
They think it may have been electrical. They think rats or something, mice or something chewed wires and it shorted out in between the floors on the first and second floor and caught it on fire.
I never even think about it. Like, I mean, we got gas hot water heaters. We got gas. I like cooking on a gas cooktop. Like, I've never batted an eye at it. Because, I mean, I always thought, like, nowadays that these new high dollar cooktops
Have a sensor.
have a sensor or something. Heck no, it must not.
Yeah.
And
You think it? Like,
now I've
hot
been
water heater
paranoid. Like, I
does,
check it
right?
every
The
night before I go to
pilot light goes
bed.
out. It don't just keep pumping gas.
Yeah, hot water heater. If the pilot, the old ones probably didn't, but now if the pilot light goes out, it's supposed to kill.
It's got a
the
sensor
gas.
on it that kills
got
it.
a flame sensor,
So you
The stove does not, because we had a kid over at the house one day playing, and she walked by and she was getting up and she hit the knob and turned ours on. We kept smelling something, and it ain't nothing that keeps it from pumping gas out, I don't guess.
we did that here.
Yeah.
One morning, it was all in the kitchen before we all went out hunting. Somebody leaned up against it. We come back in about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I smelt it, and I was like, dang, what is that? And they come stove.
I guess that's one good thing about an old style that's got a pilot light. It's going to light something when you turn it on.
Yeah.
These electronic ignitions, you don't know if it lights or not, you know. But
That's dangerous.
we were lucky because it was to the point to where, like, our back bedroom closet, like the sheets and blankets in that closet smelled like gas.
How long did it take it to clear it out? Like
About
when
4
you-
hours. I had all the windows open. Of course, it was cold as crap. When I closed the windows, I looked on the thermostat because that's the first thing I called Jamie, and he's like, make sure to cut the heat off because, I mean, the heat cycle's on.
Yeah.
It's pumping the propane everywhere. So I went and cut all the thermostats off, and then when I cut them back on, the thermostat said like 37 is what my house was.
Okay,
It was cold as
in
crap in there.
Mark.
I mean, I don't know. You did get lucky on it, which I think propane fumes stay low to the ground versus raising them, but still got lucky.
It still would have blown the roof off.
Yeah,
It
no,
had
it
that
was
much
enough in that
propane.
house. It was finna
Wait
get
till you
exciting.
get that gas bill.
Well, at 10% of my
he's like,
tank,
you're on a tank.
I'm on a
yeah.
tank. So I looked at the tank. I figured it burned about 10%. 5 to 10% pretty easily. Because I looked at it.
Did they come back and top you off since then?
No, I still got 60 or 70 in there.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we got a different cleaning lady.
Yeah.
She got, all she said was sorry. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you've been paying that Atmos bill this month.
That would
natural gas would have broke me.
$500 right there.
That one would have stung.
Man, I can tell when we cut our gas logs on.
Our gas logs suck them down, man.
Yeah, they do.
So I got talking to me and Darren was kind of talking. So on deer, you want to get big deer. You got to get this. I never really thought about the growing pains of getting to that point. So, for instance, down here, no buck's been killed this year. The buck's been we've been seeing down here. We probably would have shot 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so you can't. It kind of follows back this guy that from Mississippi State was talking about hunting club, said, why are we not killing 170-inch deer? And they're like, you are. They're like, no, we're not. The biggest deer we kill is like 140 something. Well, you got to bypass them. So you going through these growing stages to get to that point to where, so it might, if you're on your own land or hunting club, you might go 2 years and
never shoot one,
not shoot nothing.
Yeah.
To get
at least
that
2
point.
years.
That's why you got to supplement with them does. You got to take you got to fill that freezer with that doe meat, because that's better for your bucks all the way around. If you want to grow bigger bucks, quit shooting the bucks and kill does.
And
you're going to kill in 2 to 3 years, you'll have a shooter buck. Now, I ain't saying you're going to have all of them 150.
No.
But you're going to see some
because
mature
your neighbor's
deer.
still going to be shooting in 130s.
Yeah, I mean,
you ain't going to control that.
And that's one thing you can't control. All you can do is control what you pull the trigger on. And, as that deer gets older, y'all know he's smarter. It's harder to kill. So every year that he lives, he gets a little bit smarter.
But the thing about it is that I've learned this year, you look at that 12 point that was killed that we had pictures of.
Yeah.
We ain't seen that deer. I mean, I would say that deer's probably at least 6 years old.
They had pictures
not
of
7.
him last year, and they thought he was 4 or 5 last year. So he probably was 6.
Yeah, so what I'm saying though is like, we didn't know that deer existed until in the last year or so.
Yeah.
Like you think you may have saw him one time last year.
We probably had
I think I saw him like he was at 11 point last year, and I saw him on the other side of the place. It was the same deer.
But that goes that deer was probably at least 5 last year.
Yeah.
So that was 5 years that deer grew, that he made it, and then we didn't see. I mean, if we had pictures of him, he had a big growth year because we didn't see nothing that was like.
I'm pretty sure you saw him in that retention pond one time, probably too, laying down.
I did, but I mean, it was a mainframe 10 that come up out of that retention pond when I was cutting on the tractor or whatever. But anyways, Chuck and them sent me some pictures. You may have got them too, but of the trail cam pictures they had of him last year.
Yeah.
And looked nothing like what he is this year.
No, he was a 10 with a little kicker. But he turned into a mainframe 6x. He was more than that though. He was more than 12, but he was a 6x6, but he had some kickers.
Yeah.
He was freaking man.
Probably put on maybe 15 to 20 inches of horn.
It was a good bit.
Yeah.
Now you think of a deer that isn't on a large hunting club, that isn't fenced, that isn't nothing else in North Mississippi, to go 170.
That had been seen on 4 different people's property.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
because they had pictures of him a little bit south of us, back to the north, and he was killed across from our gate on the other side of the road, and that's where he had a pretty good range right there. But yeah, I think that's about a mile.
Yeah.
If you circled it from the road, I mean, he's on both sides of it.
But what I'm getting at is, you never know that you may have that deer on your property that you ain't seen in 4 years.
Yeah.
He just liable to show up one day. And
that's right.
I mean, you look behind here. I mean, we've had glimpses of some big deer that we've never had on camera. Mm-hmm. So just because you ain't seeing them either with your eyes or on camera, don't mean they're not there. Now, if you're managing and missing these deer, letting them go, who's to say he ain't laying over on that pond, living that thicket? He gonna slip up one day.
Yeah.
No, that's what Mississippi State done a deal on the coverage that a buck would cover, and they had a GPS collared deer that was on a hunting club that stayed there 4 years. Of course, they can't tell nobody, but out of 4 years on that same property, not a single person in the hunting club, no camera pictures, no nothing until the year it was killed. So that was year 5 that it went on.
Was he killed on that same hunting club that year? Yep. But he had been there.
Mm-hmm. Been there the whole time, and it was if I remember right, described like a swamp area that had a bunch of sage grass around it, and it was just stayed wet, and everybody's like, well, that's too nasty. I'm not going down there hunting. And that's where that deer stayed that whole life cycle, and not a single person saw him.
Where did they end up killing him at?
Just right out, some guy, a guy went in there, and that's where he was at.
Oh, he went to him.
Yep.
So every morning when I get up and I don't want to get up, it's always that chance.
So you're saying when we're hunting these big green fields and these heated blinds with the buddy heaters just rolling, we probably ain't gonna see the big deer.
We may not.
Who got to crawl off in that thick stuff right now?
I definitely think there's some advantages and disadvantages of the style of hunting we do. I mean, I'm sure if we put in more physical labor work and froze our butt off, we might would get one more a year, maybe. But I like being comfortable.
Yeah.
We see deer. I ain't been skunked not a single time this year.
I only have one time here out of all the sits I've set, and that was in the hilltop stand, watching probably the most land you can watch from a stand. I sat there one evening for probably 4 hours and didn't see a single deer.
Well, I can tell you what I got. So our buddy Keith that hunts a physically challenged hunt, he lives up in Texarkana. He swears by vanilla extract.
What's the stuff you tell me y'all used over there, Darren?
Keith was talking about it, and then Seth and them was talking about it, and he had some down there, and it said nose jammer.
Nose jammer.
Well, anyway, I go to Hardin Point during Christmas, and I hunted over there one day with Darren. And he's like, man, let's just go. It's a big food plot. Let's go sit and stand together, and we'll hunt it. I'm like, man, so I don't even care if I kill nothing. I just out seeing stuff that's good for me. And he had the stuff sprayed down with it, and we had 16 deer at the same time all the way around us. Not first deer bust us out.
Is it a cover scent, or I mean,
you spray it on your clothes, you can spray it on your blind
before you go in.
Yeah, and when we got in there, Darren just kind of puffed it around. We was in a 2-man homemade stand deal on the ground,
not sealed up.
Yeah, not sealed up at all. They just had burlap for windows, and not the first deer busted us out.
What did Keith say when we was down there? He said,
he said, think about it. You're a grown man. Talking about vanilla extract, way it smells. Yeah. I'm like, man, he said, you're a grown man and your wife's in there baking cookies. What are you going to do? You're going in the kitchen. He said, so something smells that good, you got to come to it.
Yeah, that's what he said. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, if you're in your house and nobody's there but you, and he says, you smell ice cream? You can go see where that ice cream coming from,
It's got to beat that stuff you sprayed on in South Trump the other day.
Man, the wind, no, you're just attracted to it because I checked the wind. The wind was blowing away from us. And, man, I hung that old estrus out the window and hit it a couple, and I looked and it went.
Right in. I mean, it was like, I thought I was coming out.
Over licking your lips.
I was coming out of it, man. It was like, I got a mouthful.
Oh, it was bad. It was stout.
It never fails when me and Mark got together. We start squirting that stuff. It's going to
come in on us.
It choked both of us. We were not downwind, but man, it's.
Well, I remember it
spray it before y'all get in the stand.
It was always in the stand.
We don't ever think about it. We just happen to have it in the backpack.
Let's puff this out the window.
Get you one of them sticks that we used to mark water lines and stuff with. It's got this. It looks like that
out there.
Right there. You stick it out the window and pull the trigger.
It did. It'd come right back in on us.
It was years ago. I was hunting up at Stanley's. I'm not a firm believer in that Tink 69. I've had it work. I've had not had it work. But anyway, I had the one that you held a stick and you dip it up in a little cotton ball thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was dark. Man, I've done it anyway. I got them stand. I've done this. I wiped my nose. I got it in my gloves. Dude, I couldn't get that smell. It stayed. I mean, I went home. I had to scrub my face, take a shower. I mean, I could not get the smell.
You'll be smelling that 2 days later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you just think about it.
It gets up in your yeah.
There's no way. I don't care what kind of animal it is. That smells good to anything.
I don't see it, man.
Like if it came to rut in the human population, that's what you had to chase. I'm going the other way.
No wonder when they smell that vanilla nose jammer, that's like, man,
that's got to be good stuff.
Got to be the best. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie now.
Today, boys, we got to see what this is.
A nice.
I mean, they are curious, but I mean, we did. We hung up those things, the Tink 69 and that stuff. Now they didn't just like come running to it.
You know what they done?
They checked.
Come here and smell this.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's over there gagging. You got to smell this.
Isn't this your girlfriend?
Yeah, you got to check this out.
It's bad.
They did. I mean, they mess with one just as much as they messed with the other.
Yeah.
But you know what I've noticed? Like those things have been out of the liquid for a month now.
They're still checking.
The deer still go by there and smell them. I think they're just curious animals. So when they see something out of place, if they don't think it's dangerous and they've been calm around there,
that smells pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but I have noticed this year, like you always deer can see good, they can hear good, and they can smell. I think smell is probably the number one thing, more than what they can see, or because that is alerted. Because it's hard for them to pick you out sitting there. I mean, if you're being halfway still,
you get away with some noise. You get away with some. But
if they get
you
wind,
ain't getting away with that. If they catch a whiff of you,
yep. I'll get away with more noise than you'd think. I mean, there's been times where I've had to just flat out cough, and the deer just look up or, not know what it was. A shot, somebody shot close.
Well, it never fails when you're trying to be quiet.
They are gone.
When you're trying to be quiet, you can make the least little bit of noise, and they look right at that blind. But when you don't care, you're like, man, you can drop your phone, you can kick the heater. They don't pay no attention to it.
That happened this weekend. I mean, I got a coughing fit sitting in the stand. Well, I had 4 does sitting in the field out there, and I was trying to. I mean, it come up on me, and I was trying to get in my jacket and stuff, and I just coughed in the stand one time. They never picked their head up.
But if they would have
they
smelled
wasn't close, but they were. They was out there about 100 yards, but they didn't. They didn't pay no attention to me at that time. I figured they was just going to leave the field, but I don't know if you could do that with a big ass buck though.
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I've made some noise with them out there. Like this time of year, they're just wanting to eat. They're through rutting. They're hitting green fields. That's where you're going to see them now. They're going to be busted up. They're going to be puny. But you can make some noise. But if they smell you, they're gone. They're gone.
So what's your thoughts talking about a deer smelling you and it blowing? I watched the guy the other day, he was talking about that, you never really hear a buck blow. But they say once it gets to that point, like a mature, like say a 7-year-old buck, that they will blow. And I was like, I've never really paid that much attention. Like I've only seen the does blow, but how many times have you? I mean, I don't know.
I've seen a buck blow before. I mean,
they make all kind of other racket. I don't see why they wouldn't, but I've never seen a buck blow.
I think smaller ones do it.
See, I'm wondering, like, if
the one you hear but don't never see,
the one you hear you don't ever see, might be a 180-inch deer over that pine thicket.
Yeah, I have seen a buck blow before. Like a coyote or something must have been across the field, or something went across the field. My wind wasn't going out there.
Yeah,
but something had come across, and and he perked up and he took off running, and he ran in the woods, and I heard him.
Yeah,
as he was leaving.
No, I did. Right,
I have heard him do that. I've heard him do that.
Right before,
not like that old high pitched squeal that old doe does, though.
Right before Christmas, I was hunting Crossroads. When I had a spike come out, and I ain't never heard a deer make that much racket. And he was bumping some does around, but he wasn't grunting. I mean, he was almost like he's freaking hollering. Like, I don't know what he was doing. Like, he was getting mad because they wouldn't stop. I guess he wasn't
hey.
Yeah. He was trying to give him his first little shot or something, but they wouldn't stop for him. Boy, he was getting mad, and I don't know how to explain the noise he was making. It wasn't a grunt. It wasn't a blow.
I still never heard the snort wheeze deal.
I hadn't either.
Yeah. I've heard him grunt plenty of times. Yeah. I never heard him do pull.
This one here, he was hollering at him. I don't know what he was telling him, but he was hollering.
Stop. That's what
stop. Holler. Just for a minute. Just for a minute.
Hey, let me holler at you. Big.
Well, he might have been doing a come get it, come get it, come get it.
That's it. That's what he's doing. Old trailer park style.
Yeah. It's been a good hunting season. It's been.
We just need to shoot some more deer.
Yeah,
anytime you get out there and hunt and have a good time, stuff like that, it's still good. Even if you ain't killing nothing and you ain't seeing nothing, it's better than sitting at the house watching TV or going to work for sure.
So what is the strategy now for late season? We're facing to get winters here. What do you think it switches to? Because we know all the acorns are gone. All we got is what we got left in the green fields, and you hope you got some of them now. And that's about it. Are you still getting out there early in the morning and trying to catch them moving on that hard frost? Are you letting it thaw out? Or are you?
I think 10 to 2 is the time now.
10 to 2.
Yep.
See, I want to get behind that because I've done the whole midday sit to dark. I ain't seen crap in the middle of the day around here, like until about 3 o'clock when they start rolling on out. But that was before Christmas, so it may change a little bit. But I still got to go for the early morning. I can't.
Yeah, can't not do it.
I can't not do it.
I bumped. There was does out feeding this morning. It was about 7:30 when I strolled through to check camera, and I bumped a deer out of. I bumped a decent little 8-point buck out of the ditch. It was going back towards Crossroads.
How much water was in the ditch?
Most it's been all year.
Yeah,
we've had some rain. It was pretty muddy. plantation field was, I about had to lock her in. Yeah, it was. But I was trying to knock some of that stuff down. So it was, I don't know if the drainage has stopped on part of that where we grew some that grow in the wall, or if it's just nasty there. But it's
there was a lot of rain this past week.
Yeah. It's been dry. So,
So what's now that we're 3/4 of the way through season, what's your take on growing the wall, how we done it this year versus what we've done before? I think we may have overdone it just a bump. I think
it's great blockage. Like if you want some egress, as far as the transition area, it can get thick on you quick.
I think
I've seen the deer not want to go through some of it, and I've seen them go on through some of it. So I don't know, but I think it's better for blockage. Like if you need some place, some screen.
I agree with that. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel. Is like if you need a wall way to get in and out to the stand, it's really good. But like where we're at, a more of a natural edge,
the deer like it better.
Deer like it better. The sage grass and the Johnson grass and stuff like that. Something they're used to.
Yep.
And I think ours have never seen that type of plant or growth in it.
Well, I think
they were a little leery of it at times.
I think you'd be better off. I mean, in some spots, fertilizing the natural vegetation there.
Yeah.
I think our first year doing it, it was perfect because it wasn't nearly as thick as it is. Well, then we come in there and bush hog and replant some of it in the same spot. I think we picked up a lot of seed from the reseed.
Yeah.
And man, right there at South Trump and Plantation, it's freaking thick. Like you can't walk through it.
Yeah.
And you notice, like at South Trump, they come in the field the exact same spot every day.
Well, see, what I have noticed is wherever we've knocked it down, wherever you've created an opening, that's where the deer want to come into it at.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like if you got a spot where you want to funnel them to, and that's where you want them to come out, if you'll leave an opening there or knock down an opening, they'll use it because they're doing it on 2 spots or 3 spots on that field, the big field. And I know, that's where I'm checking. When I'm sitting in the stand, I'm watching that, and I don't know how many deer I've seen come out of it.
Oh, I would love if we could make corn survive and not get just mowed down. If we could do
something
same thing with corn.
I think corn will be a happy medium to where it won't be so thick they won't walk through it. It still gives them cover, but I'm telling you, like South Trump, you can't. I've never seen no vegetation grow that thick. That's crazy how thick it is.
Yeah, that ground's good.
Yeah, I don't know if it got that thick from because it planted the same ratio to planted it last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if because it actually made, we got it up before the Johnson grass really got in. And a lot of that last year had a lot of Johnson grass in it.
It sure
birds getting
hurt.
up there and crapping out the seeds and stuff. Some of that stuff made it reseeded and
it's thick.
I'm telling you, if it ain't too thick, if it ain't too wet right now, it would not be a bad idea to go do some bush hogging with that stuff.
Yeah.
Knock it down because there is no telling where they would start coming from if you knocked it down now.
I mean, not mow it all down, but just
not all of it, but
thin it out,
get
some cross sections.
Yeah, you could definitely do it now, and it would be something fresh for them to see and want to check it out.
If you want to have the blocky roads in.
Yeah. But I do think if we leave that up, it's going to be some place for turkey to hide.
Yeah,
it's thick. You're going to have some poults. Will have plenty of places to get.
I mean, the deer and the rabbits and the birds and all that stuff like it.
They love it, man. It's like that National Geographic with the birds in it.
We took that thermal out there, was looking in there, dude, man. It looked
crazy.
Like chicken pox
everywhere.
Yeah, but there. I saw this place down in Charleston. Do you remember the name of it? It's
you said it, but
quail. It's quail hunting place. He does these quail hunts down there.
That where Matt and them went.
Yeah.
It's man, what's Trout Creek? Trout.
That's it. Yep.
Trout Creek.
That's the guy's last name that runs it, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like that would be fun, right?
That ain't where we went, was it?
No. This is the guy's got a place in Charleston and Enid. And it's basically $275 per man per gun, and that's guide, his dogs, and dressing your quail, and that's 12.
They released 12 birds per hunter.
12 per hunter.
This is what Matt told us. He said they've got, just from the years they've been doing it, watching hunters, he said they average about you kill 60%. Yeah. That's about all a good hunter can do. So you got to think but he said there's so many birds out there left from different hunts that there's always birds.
Yeah.
Always birds.
So
they're getting them special from Alabama or somewhere.
Yeah, Alabama,
limited person contact where they act. I mean, it's not a wild bird. It's still
It's the closest you're gonna get in Mississippi, probably.
If you ain't never shot a quail, that pen raised bird's still pretty freaking fast.
Yeah.
I mean, he's moving.
Never been quail hunting.
We went. Oh shit!
It's down below Starkville. I
Yeah,
think.
it was around Starkville, and they had fly pens, but they had a lot of human contact with their birds. And we knew that. I mean, we was just searching for somewhere to go and take Fade. It was his birthday, so I got him that for his birthday one year, and the rest of us kind of grouped in, and everybody went. And anyways, we went down there, and we didn't know what to expect. And anyways, we get there, and the guy shows us around the farm and all that. I think we did an afternoon hunt, didn't we?
That was a morning hunt.
I think it was more. We wasn't like cracking on.
We wasn't. Something about he had his dates mixed up because we got there and we wasn't supposed to be there the next day or something.
No, it was we got there on a Sunday.
Or they forgot to put birds out or something.
He was late getting birds out because he had a big group in the day before, and they got into beverages, and half of them didn't hunt, but they bought like all these birds. So we had we killed
our birds and then
our birds plus what they had left over. It was we had a blast.
We had 70 or 80 birds that day.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
it was a lot.
We were riding on the 4-wheelers with the birds like next to us.
Y'all were gonna shoot
in these crates. We were riding down the road and the birds are just like looking at you. You got the gun. And you're
all
just
right,
like
cover your eyes.
Like Easter egg hunt.
I'm fixing to get y'all. Y'all know what's up.
That's what that's like, an adult Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, and they told us
there.
to stay. They told us to stay by the trucks. They ran out there real fast and took the birds.
Turn around, stay by
I walked around the corner to see what they were doing, and they had a bird in each hand, spinning them and slinging them in the thickets, and they were moving down the road just slinging them birds, man. But them things, they were so fat. Them old farm raised birds. They weren't a little bitty like what Fate calls Mexican birds. I guess they migrated from Mexico or something, whatever. But they're about the size of a dove or something. And these were like a size of a partridge. So when they got up,
Cornish hen size.
Yeah, they get up, man. They'd spit and sputter a little bit, and then they finally get up, and then they get tired and go down about 40 yards out there. You just walk down there 40 yards and kick him back up. Sometimes they just run.
So I kind of hinted around. I knew Daddy went down there last year with the guy, and come to find out, it's actually the same place that I was talking about. Yeah.
Daddy said they fly good.
Yeah,
really? He's been there.
Yeah.
Shoot, Daddy's been 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Does he go to church with the guy?
One of the guys that was affiliated or might still be, I can't remember. He helped him out on the farm. So Daddy kind of, I don't know if it was just a one-on-one deal, but Daddy paid him. He, they released the quail or whatever.
That's who Daddy bought a shotgun from too, I think.
Yeah, it is.
He done jumped on the Benelli train.
Oh, really?
He can't. I think he shot him and
Better
Willie.
shim it up for him.
Well, I already did one time.
Oh, really?
Well, him and Willie went rabbit hunting the other day, and I think he shot 10 times and killed 2 rabbits, which is highly unlikely for Daddy.
I guarantee he's shitting the ground in front of her.
Well, no, Willie got to watching him, and I don't know if it's Benelli's got that rubber stock pad on it. Well, it kept hitting on his and Daddy pulled his sleeve up, and from his elbow to his shoulder is black. I'm talking about jet black, where he wasn't getting the gun all
shoulder all the way.
He wasn't shouldering the gun. It was, and he bruised up bad from it. But we'll see.
I hit pretty good with my new one. I was pleased with it.
That old gold member
be putting it on.
Gold member of flat kill a duck.
Well,
Flat kill a pin duck.
I mean, I think a lot of those kills to Waylon because I wouldn't have killed him without him.
Oh man,
I got so tickled. Malcolm shot a duck and they went over the levee. Sent the dog. Well, Waylon went out to go do something or whatever. And Waylon never got out of the seat. He never shot at this duck. He come back and said, I'm glad Sadie found my duck. I put the hammer on this one. And I'm looking at Malcolm. I'm like, I don't think he shot.
That's mine. That's mine. That's mine.
He'll claim them. Which that's good. If you killing them, you still got more to shoot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I fired 2 shots, killed 2 ducks. I was done.
I done 4 and 4.
Yeah, and then we let the boys and Waylon shoot the rest of them. I think we killed 24.
We had one. Well, the old man.
Yeah, we had 27 or 25.
That old dog.
They had a cleanup dog at this place we went to.
That was a beast.
Man,
I ain't never seen a dog work like that. Sadie's good.
Yeah,
that dog right there was awesome.
He had a job, like he worked there because they would and they didn't do that when we went
before. That's the first time I ever seen them do it.
There was a little Asian lady, I think, or I don't know, Eskimo or something. I don't know what she was, but she works at this place. And she'd take that dog. She'd come around at the end of the day when everybody's through hunting and hit the holes and find cripples. And that dog would circle the hole, and he
knew where to look.
He would pick up every cripple. Yeah.
Really?
We found
Never
one on our
missed a
hole that we didn't. I don't know if it was one we shot or it was just a cripple.
I don't know. It was on the other end of the blind. I called myself watching good, but you never know.
Yeah.
And it could have been one from another.
No, it was there. Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was one we'd shot, but anyway, it brought it right back. And look, it ran by us and went
straight to her.
Didn't even stop.
Didn't even look at us.
We had a stringer of ducks, you know. It didn't look at us. It took it back to that lady, got on the back of that, and it stood on the back of a. You ever seen one just the ride likes to ride? On
Jamie
the back
had a lab.
Yeah, I had lab. That's what they'd ride.
That's where this
on
joker was riding all day long.
He knew his job and he knew it well.
Yeah, that was a good dog.
Good dog.
That's what
Sadie was on point.
Yeah, she picked up.
She did good.
Shit, real good. I was surprised.
To be first time out this year. Yeah, she was.
We put her on that brake leash, and it didn't take her too long to get used to it. Now she wants to. She was whimpering and whining. Boy, she wants to go every time. And and we left. She didn't want to leave. I mean, but she picked up 24.
24.
I guess. Yeah. That's a good day for a dog.
Yeah. She tired?
No, she come home freaking million miles an hour when we got here.
I was going to say, man, ever since this summer, she's been working on that little ball thrower out here.
Dude.
And she'll stay out here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You have to make her stop and go get water.
When we got back, Michael shot the training dummy with her some, and she played with that broke the ball thing, running it, and she didn't stop. I don't think she finally stopped till we went to bed.
Oh, training dummy. That's a handful to hold on to, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking loud. Way louder than you think it is.
22 blank.
Yeah.
Man, that thing's so loud. But 22 ain't that loud.
Mm-mm. I guess because you're holding it right there in front of your face when you pull
I guess so. I don't know. That thing was a lot louder than I thought it would be. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this to the house and shoot it at the lake.
Heck
My
no.
neighbors be calling. They'd be posting all over Facebook. Somebody's shooting out here at the house.
And you ain't even got those are the green ones. Put the red ones in
The
there.
real one's bad.
Launch it across the lake, wasn't it?
It's pretty stout.
What have we picked them winners for our contest, Mikey? We ran the first. We're still gonna run another one, right?
We'll run another one later on. We'll probably talk about that next week.
Okay.
But yeah, I got some names here. But the thing is like we're gonna contact you, the people I'm gonna call these names out. We gotta make sure you got the rights to that picture. That it's not something that you got off the internet or something like that.
Yeah.
So
You ain't verified all that yet.
I haven't verified that.
You just picked out the ones we liked.
I picked
right?
out the ones we like.
Okay.
So like the one for, let's see, the most unique video or game cam pick was Corey Gregory.
Which one was he?
He had it was the black bear with the pig.
It had to be the bear and the pig. That's pretty neat.
I knew I was voting for that one.
Yeah, that was pretty. There was look now. There was a lot of awesome entries. But
they're all
cool. We had to pick a winner. So
I like the squirrel jumping in front of the camera too. That's a pretty good one.
He's flashing us.
Yeah.
We had one I wanted to enter the other day. That old Spike was wearing one out, boy.
yeah,
Y'all see him on that
I seen him.
You know that old Dave was just feeling sorry for him.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
They might have been a little adolescent. I think they were just experimenting. I don't
You
know.
think so?
Mama ain't looking. Let's see what this is about.
Maybe so.
So
So that was the most unique pick that we got.
that was a game cam pick
Okay.
or game cam video. The most unique deer or your best deer or just a harvested deer that you had killed. I actually couldn't decide, so we got two of them.
Okay.
We got two of them. We got Casey Fulner and Donnie Mathis. Casey Fulner, his son killed a black-tailed deer in Alaska with a recurve bow and wood arrows.
I saw that. That was a good story.
That's something broke out the Indian.
He had a story that he sent with
no
it.
joke.
That was pretty cool. And then
I never shot a recurve. You ever shot a recurve?
Yeah.
bow?
yeah,
No sights.
Yeah.
Donnie Mathis. He killed a kind of a funky looking deer, which we would consider a cull deer, and he did. He considered it a cull deer. He killed this deer thinking it was a cull. Well, come to find out, he took it to the taxidermist to get it skull mounted, and somebody had shot it in the back of the head with a .22 rifle.
Oh, dang.
The bullet was still lodged in the back of it, and it messed him up, and that's just the way he came out.
I think that's what happened to old Ricky.
Yeah.
I think he's been shot in the head.
Ricky got battle
He
scars.
was shot twice. He got a leg. He got a leg shot.
I think he's
and
just
a
been eating lead.
head shot. Yeah. He's
I hope maybe we can get Jay on Ricky this week.
Monsanto. Yeah, he's a Monsanto deer. I don't know what he got into over there on that ranch.
But then
It's something bad.
we got the best deer camp recipe is going to be. Let's see. It was Donnie Mathis too. I didn't
He
realize
done
it was
won
both of them.
twice.
He done won twice.
Man, Donnie, you did all right.
Donnie give us a recipe for TNT.
What is that?
So it's
I
deer
saw-
back straps, potatoes, onions. It's kind of all in one skillet deal with some cheese over the top.
all in one skillet, all in one toilet.
We got to cook that. We got to cook that.
Yeah, so
TNT, huh?
See, I don't know if he calls it TNT because it's good dynamite or
Yeah,
if it's
get
actually like
afterwards.
you gonna dynamite.
gut
You might blow
dynamite.
up.
Gut dynamite.
So we'll be
willing to try
contacting y'all.
Yeah, they're
too
gonna.
long.
We're gonna
Make sure
get some of the
everything's
Buck
legit
Junkies
and
gear.
Send you some Buck Junkies gear here.
We'll have to get shipping addresses and all that, but be looking for it.
things
Yeah.
like that. So
And we're gonna keep the y'all can keep sending in the pics. We'll determine next week when we're gonna turn it off, but we know we're gonna go to the end of deer season.
yeah, we'll keep running it till the end of deer season. We'll run the contest till the end of deer season and
Yeah.
just
We might have to run one every season, so we'll go right into squirrel and rabbit season to end of February, and then pick up turkey
Do the
season.
Trophy squirrel contest.
Yeah, and then we'll do the biggest bass.
yeah.
I don't know if y'all follow much of these Mississippi posts on Facebook. It has been some hellacious government land deer killed this
I've
year.
seen, I've seen some good ones.
Real
That
good ones.
one that what's his name?
Michael.
Michael, that's a good deer
Yeah,
you
good deer.
killed.
He got a YouTube channel, Light 'Em Up. He's got some pretty good stuff. He's doing a little bit of video with rabbit hunting and turkey hunting.
Who is this?
That's my wife's uncle's son.
Okay,
And he's Light 'Em Up on YouTube. He's getting a pretty good little channel going.
He killed a darn good deer.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's Hernando.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess all he hunts is government land. He killed a pretty good deer the other day on government land, and it was a video I seen last week on Facebook. YouTube. That was a good deer he killed last year.
Light them up.
Yep.
We'll have to check that out.
Yep.
Well, y'all ready to get after them today?
I got to put long johns
We'll
on.
go gear up, Jamie, and get to stand. But I guess that's about it for today, right?
Get ready. Old Jay Craig's heading down from Indiana. Hopefully bring one of them Indiana deer down here.
Man, I wish you'd load one up.
Sneak him off in here. But that's about it. Be a good week.
out.
Well, y'all know where to find us at Buck Junkies. Y'all got any questions, let us know. Like I say, send us any of your kills this year, anything you got coming up, and we're going to keep on. If y'all got any questions, let us know.
We'll be back next week. We gone.